We then went on to sort of look at the linguistics behind it and what do we call the buttons, and this sort of turned into quite a long-winded discussion about like the verbs and what do they mean. So I think the most valuable thing here that we've come up with is this table at the bottom, and actually describing the action. And we got a bit caught up in the fact that this is language that we're talking to developers about, so we wanted to make it quite clear that this is what a developer sees. It's not necessarily what the end user or the customer sees. So even though, say for example, pick here is called pick, that's the developer verb that you use, and publishers should be implementing it in such a way that it talks to their audience. So I think this is something that we're going to write up and put on the wiki. We also added another two down at the bottom, authenticate, so sign in, log into a service, and pay with, so that would allow you to then pick a payment provider. So you're taking the onus off the publisher or the shop to choose the method you can pay, and you can then pay with PayPal or whatever you want to pay with. I'm just trying to remember what the rest of that is. Can you remember anything else from?
Yeah, just more sort of coming up with the guiding principles, and then trying to sort of identifying the problems. So whether it's contextual to the content type, for example, view. So views to see content, which could be viewing an image or playing some media. So it's sort of view, we'd hit view if you want to play a movie. So it's trying to look around the linguistics of that.
So then the third point that we talked about, and it sort of touches on some of the stuff that you were saying earlier, Andy, about like what's the proposition and how do we explain it. It took us almost till the end of the day to understand how simple it is, and we sort of came up with this little diagram to explain it, that in actual fact it's an HTML action that invokes a browser overlay, which then goes off and calls a service and returns back a service. And in actual fact that's quite simple, but it's just getting that across to people, and trying to distill that down. And Louise came up with this, and she was just like, this is all the interface you need. So I think that's another thing that we're going to sort of try and feed into everything that continues after this. That's it. Cool. Thank you.